This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Fatal 4-Way live here on ONTV. I'm Jason Clouse, and being joined by the Stan Lee of PFC, Brian Bolf, and Hollywood Q, Quadell Edwards. Gentlemen, this has become an annual thing for our show, and the big Wrestlemania preview, and it goes down next weekend from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here tonight, we are going to preview and break down all of the matches that have been announced for this big two-night event that starts on Saturday, April the 19th, and will conclude on Sunday, April the 20th. And conspicuous by his absence is Sean Krugel, who is celebrating his wife's birthday, so we wanted to wish a very happy birthday to Sharon. So with that, let's jump right into this. This is becoming a big card, gentlemen, and we're going to kick things off by looking at the World Heavyweight title match between Gunther and Jey Uso. Yeet. This was established back in January with Uso winning the Royal Rumble, and his selection to face probably the most believable champion that this title has held. Q, we'll start with you. This has had the longest build in terms of when the match was made leading up to WrestleMania. A lot of speculation as to whether there was enough anticipation in this, so they tried to add layers to the story with Jey Uso having something of a complex. Can I do it? Yeah. Now with that, you add in his brother Jimmy and the gruesome attack that happened on Monday Night Raw. Did that add any more anticipation for this? And is this a match that you're looking forward to?
I am looking forward to it, and the whole thing with Jimmy Uso being added actually helped a lot. Yeah. Because for a long time, we seen nothing but, maybe a match by Jey Uso, him beating up Austin Theory or somebody, and then Gunther comes up from behind and puts the sleeper on. We seen that for like weeks and weeks. It's been rinse and repeat. Them adding Jimmy to the equation really helped. And I wanted Jimmy to get his own little spotlight on SmackDown, maybe with the U.S. title, but actually inserting him in here with Jey and the whole gruesome beatdown, I mean, that elevated that feud to me. And even the promo that Jey cut this past Monday was a lot better than him speaking and then they say yeet, then he say something else. It's all that playing around to the crowd and yeeting all day and all that stuff it's got to go out the window. It's time for him to get serious. So I love the fact that they did that. That was a great angle, and that brought it from down here to up here for me.
Brian, where are you at with this attack on Jimmy Uso and the way it was orchestrated? Much to what Q was saying, it adds an element of reality to it, especially with the follow-up promo from Jey. Do you feel like there's more of an emotional investment from the fans' perspective into this match? Because it seemed like, because these two have wrestled each other before, Saturday night's main event and things of this nature. So it's not like we've never seen this match. It's been a well-established feud story-wise. Does this get elevated to a more anticipated match, much like what Hollywood was saying?
Yeah, and I think it's not even so much just only a build for this match, but it's an overall build for the Jey Uso character. If you look at his whole storyline, like how he went from tag team to main event and then not being able to just come over that hurdle to be a title holder. And then all the internet buzz and people, even like now we see backstage, tell him like, you're over your head, and then you see him fumble. And now with the attack on Jimmy, you have a reason for him to overcome those steps. Like maybe that's the straw that broke the back, and like now he can finally make that final step. And do we see him finally get his chance to hold a title?
He's been called the main event for a little bit now, and now on the grandest stage of them all, he's going to be able to prove whether or not he is worthy of that moniker. Real quick, are you going with Uso here?
I feel like it has to be at this point. And and to your point with the whole character thing, I remember him being back in the more of the beginning stages of the bloodline, and how mad he used to always be when Sami Zayn was there. And he was like the mad guy in the group. Like he was always angry, pacing around. We need to see a mad Jey Uso. I think that Jey Uso is the Jey Uso that got over initially. The mad version. He's always, you're not my family and all this stuff with Sami Zayn, and then he just got so happy and started eating all over the place. So it's time for him to get mad again.
Oh man, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I think they have to pull the trigger at this point. If we're going to see this match again, Jay's got to win this match.
Oh, I am 100% agreement with that.
It's probably the one, if I was to put money on, I'm the most confident probably in that one.
You putting money on it?
We can. Want to put all your brakes on it?
Oh Lord,
I need those.
Now we're getting granular. We're getting granular here. I'm with you on this. We have been on this show for quite a while now, and we have looked at other wrestlers who have been climbing, and they waited too long to pull the trigger on it. LA Knight is a perfect example of that. We'll talk about him later on in the program.
Yeah.
But because of the way Jey Uso has elevated and become a main event player legitimately, it wasn't something that was rammed down our throats. This is something that was very organic, much in the vein of the Yes movement several years ago. And I said it back at the Royal Rumble, this is different. This Yeet movement is different. And what we saw this past Monday with the promo and how serious he was, there was no going through the crowd and doing the whole Yeet thing. It was very serious. And man, I felt his words, and it's been a long time since I have felt a promo on that level, so I can truly appreciate that. The other match that was established in terms of the challenger back at the Royal Rumble centers around the WWE Women's title match that will take place as a part of WrestleMania 41, when Charlotte Flair will challenge Tiffany Stratton. Now, the story going into this particular match was very, it was pretty predictable once Charlotte made the announcement she was going after Tiffy time. But this promo, Q, on a very recent episode of SmackDown, was so controversial, so polarizing, went off script, as they say, to the point to where the on-demand version is heavily edited. Now, if you go on to X or you go on to TikTok, you go on to another social media avenue, you can find the unedited promo. Charlotte and Tiffany for the women's title at WrestleMania. What's your take on this?
Anybody ever seen a train wreck? I mean,
I used to live next to train tracks, so yes.
Yeah, well, this is the definition of a train wreck right here, man. And for one, the crowd is not taken to Charlotte. And me, I'm a Charlotte fan. I love Charlotte. I love her in-ring work. I love her promo work. For the, probably not recently, but Charlotte is a star. She's been a star. She's been a star for a long time, and they're trying to elevate Tiffany here. And I don't think Charlotte is helping Tiffany at all. I believe the best buzz that Tiffany is getting out of this is the actual controversy. You know, the fact that she's getting spotlight. We're tuning in to Tiffany to see what the controversy is. You know, to see all the you know, off the script stuff. You know, to see everything that she's gonna say now, or you know, it's been, I don't know, man. This match right here is the biggest question mark for me. It's the biggest question mark. I don't know who's gonna come out on top. I feel like Tiffany needs it.
Mommy's on top.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But in this match,
I don't know.
I want to say it's Tiffy time, but you know, they love padding the stats with Charlotte. She's a stat padder she's LeBron James right now.
Oh Lord, that's the wrong analogy to use with me. If I can be honest with you,
she's padding the stats right now. So I don't know about this one.
Patent statins.
And all this padding stuff, you know, but I believe the in-ring work can be top-notch with these two, as long as they, you know, work together and actually stick to business and not go into it for themselves. But as far as the build, I mean, it's just been a train wreck, man. It's been all over the place, so I don't know.
Brian, this match, it lacks that huge over-the-top, much like what he was saying, build, right? The one thing that I took away from this promo was that Charlotte Flair got rattled. I mean, legitimately rattled. And I feel like that's a good reason why that promo went the way that it did. Tiffany did herself no favors either because of the shots, you know, being fired at her. But it makes me wonder this on a psychological level, seeing how popular Stratton has become. We've been talking about her for the last year, watching her build to become champion. Not only become champion, but she's going into WrestleMania with a title defense. You know, like this is big. In a very real element, do you think another aspect to why that promo went the way that it did is because Charlotte, being the face of WWE for a long time before her injury, is she jealous of Tiffany and seeing what her path has been and how the fans have responded? Do you think that's what's happening here, or there's just a lack of chemistry?
I think it's a work.
Do you?
I 100% think it's a work. I think we see the story that we got with Jay and Gunther, and we see how this was just plummeting. I think they did it intentionally, just to give this some steam, like you're getting on the other side of that with the men's Royal Rumble winner in the challenge. This was dying, and like I think Charlotte was kind of making Tiffany look amateur in her promo work. I think they decided to pull this. It scares me because I think before this started in the promo work and it was kind of being flat, I think we were probably seeing like 3 matches with these. Like I think a feud would have been going. Mm-hmm. I think Charlotte was probably going to be the planned winner of this match, and like we'd see more coming from that. I don't know if they want to do that now. I mean, if you have to resort to that to get a little steam behind this match and get people talking about it, man, I don't know. But unfortunately, I think they're still going to try to do it. I think they're still going to have Charlotte win this one, and we still see a feud between these two, just to build Tiffany up even more. Because at this point, she's definitely a fan favorite. But can we get her to like elevate to the level of a Charlotte? Because we've talked about before, Charlotte's literally one of the best active wrestlers, men and women.
Right.
When it comes to promo work, in-ring work, everything. So I find it hard to believe that she's going to get shaken that easily unless it's all of her real-life drama leaking into wrestling and she can't keep the two separate.
Very, very good points being made here. I this is the way I kind of see it going. You know, we've talked a lot in recent weeks about the elevated levels of violence in women's matches for All Elite Wrestling. And I feel like because of the nature of that this promo went, and if it is a work, then you're laying the groundwork for a rivalry. Backlash is up next, right? And Backlash is traditionally the sequel to WrestleMania. So I do see Charlotte Flair winning the championship here, and I see them having a rematch at Backlash, but it's going to be in some sort of gimmick, some sort of stipulation, whether it be a cage match or they haven't gone long enough to go hell in a cell yet. But a steel cage match or something on a pole match. I mean, I don't know.
Yikes.
I was waiting to see what I know, Brian. Like the gears started going as soon as
I was still in my head of thinking of matches, and then I just totally missed out on that until it caught me afterwards. I was like, oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I too see a new champion being crowned here.
Yeah, can I add to that?
No. Your turn's over.
Well, let me.
All right, you get Sean's part. Go.
Yeah, add Sean.
Okay.
I want to add the fact that if Charlotte wins this and you begin a feud, you can almost see kind of like a Brett Sean situation here, you know, because they
Yes.
100%.
hated each other.
That's what I see with them trying to build like these two hate each other.
Yeah.
And it's something like we'll tune into just for that card, just to see that one match.
You can make gold out of that, you know. Why not? And to be honest, I think Charlotte should start a faction.
I'm kind of surprised she hasn't at
Yeah.
this point. And along those lines, you want to talk about being a trailblazer. That word has been used for her in this modern era of women's wrestling in WWE. There really hasn't been a dominant women's group. So and with her father, if you're going to keep laying into that, you know, using the Flair name, being the head of the Four Horsemen, it seems like it's a missed opportunity.
Exactly.
And with so much talent with the women across WWE and NXT,
Yep.
if you want to include TNA, I mean, you don't really need to because you've got more than enough under the WWE umbrella. It kind of writes itself if we're being honest here.
Yeah,
You know?
give us the books.
Future Mount Rushmore, rebuild Charlotte stable.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and make a note of that. Build Charlotte's
Stable.
Think about it. Ric Flair he was a part of two legendary factions with
Oh, yeah.
Four Horsemen and Evolution.
Yeah,
So why not?
it's in her blood, as they say. If you have an opinion on the two matches that we have talked about or anything that we discuss here tonight, you can join the conversation by calling in at 810-640-5591, or if you're watching us through the Facebook feed over at Orion ONTV, you can be a part of the live chat. And Hollywood is monitoring our live chat. So we would love to hear your opinion. Do not, no need to be shy. We have open phone lines. Moving on here, the United States Championship match will take place as a part of WrestleMania. Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, that I mean.
will be challenging L.A. Knight for the WWE United States Championship. This could be the sleeper match of the show. There's a lot of people are saying, oh my God, this is going to be a one-sided affair. It's going to be Fatu. He's going to dominate L.A. Knight. I don't really see it happening that way. I think there is a reason why this match is on the card. I'm happy it's a one-on-one affair. I'm happy that the United States Championship is going to be represented on paper, a very anticipated, should be a good match. Like I said,
absolutely.
this should, in my opinion, is the sleeper match. This could steal the show up until whatever main event on whatever night this match winds up on. Brian, we'll start with you. They could have gone a number of ways with the U.S. Title match for this. Jacob Fatu emerging from a last man standing match against Braun Strowman to stamp his ticket to WrestleMania. This is a vote of confidence for Fatu. Would you say?
Oh, absolutely. I think even more so that by the time the match is over, we see them put the U.S. belt on him.
Do you think it happens here?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I honestly feel like by the time the dust settles, I think we see that Jacob face turn, and I'd love to see an LA Knight heel turn. I think he would be so much better as a heel. He's a modern day Rick Rude to me.
I could see that. I
could see him slide into that role so easily.
Traditionally, WrestleMania on an unofficial level is the end of one season and the start of another in terms of WWE storylines. With this particular match, I feel like, much to what Brian was saying, an LA Knight heel turn would do him good. So even if Fatu was to win the U.S. title here at WrestleMania and Knight was to turn heel, how sustainable do you see Fatu as a full-blown face? Because part of his presentation, his aura, has been his unpredictability, his savage-like approach. And while there is a contingent of fans that really do appreciate that, I worry that if we were to turn him full-blown face, he would lose a lot of his steam. Would you agree with that or no?
Maybe at this time, yeah. Only because how heavy, how face-heavy WWE is right now. Because, I mean, I honestly believe there's too many top faces in the company. And that's why some of these people like LA Knight is getting lost, because there's so many people at the top. Like, LA Knight is not going to pass Seth, Roman, Punk. I mean, you got all these guys at the top. A face turn for Fatu, I believe Fatu can actually hang a little bit longer than LA Knight can as a face, because just like you said, Fatu is more unpredictable. LA Knight is a little bit more predictable. You know you're going to get a catchphrase. You know you're going to get that line. You know that, LA Knight, yeah, we know about all that. LA Knight hasn't surprised anybody lately. And I think that's the problem. Fatu is surprising people by laying out people, and he's the carnage guy. Look
Even
what
some
happened.
of his promo work. It's
Yeah,
like
his
it shocks
promo
you,
work
like,
is like, people didn't know he could speak that good. Like, I watched him in MLW.
Speak that well.
Yeah, speak that well. Thank you. But I watched him in MLW, and I seen how good he could be. So I've been keeping my eye on him. But this could actually be a great double turn match.
Exactly.
Because the fans are really gonna lay into. If the fans are really behind Fatu, I can see LA Knight getting a couple of boos in this match. This might be the night where, this could be the launching point of a LA Knight heel turn.
It's going to be the nah.
Oh, God, don't do that.
So your official prediction?
As far as my prediction, I see shenanigans, man. I see shenanigans because Solo's not on the card at all.
Right.
I can see Solo doing something crazy, to cause Fatu that match that will ignite them to feud.
I could see that as well.
Okay. So
So I'm going to go LA Knight.
Okay. All right. What's your take on this, Brian?
Like I think the title will change, but if it doesn't, I think it will be because of a Solo interference, and then we see the Solo Jacob feud before we end up putting up. I think if WWE is smart, they probably would go that route, have that Solo feud before you put the belt on Jacob, not after.
Yeah.
All right, I take it back. Solo interferes, Jacob loses.
Okay.
You're gonna be so mad if our 2 wins.
No, I won't. I'll be happy. It's a win-win.
One of the more intriguing rivalries happening right now in WWE, and one that does have quite a bit of legwork in terms of the establishment and leading into what we're going to see at WrestleMania. Jade Cargill is going to go one-on-one with Naomi. We kind of saw this. We kind of predicted this. We knew this match was a possibility. Jade's return at the Elimination Chamber was so well done, in my opinion, with Bianca Belair, who was the 3rd member of this trifecta, being locked in her pod, watching helplessly as Jade comes in and just wipes the mat with Naomi. This is a storyline, a rivalry that we have kind of called before they've done it in a lot of aspects. So now that we're here, and it is actually historic in some ways. This is the first non-title women's match on a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 22, I believe. And that's a significant benchmark, milestone. So that puts a lot of confidence into the 2 women in this match, that they're going to be able to put forth a WrestleMania-worthy match, because the one common theme that we've talked about so far here tonight and across the board on this show is how deep the roster is in WWE. Yeah. Even with 2 nights, there's still so much, really good talent that does not make the WrestleMania card. So to put Jade Cargill and Naomi on this card, Brian, we'll start with you. This is obviously a huge vote of confidence, a lot of pressure on these 2 women. We've already seen Jade does not always respond well to high-pressure situations. What do you see here when it's Jade and Naomi at WrestleMania?
Do you think they got this spot on WrestleMania, like you said, after almost 20 years of not having a singles non-title match because of the build-up to it? Or do we get like what we'd like to see, Bianca come down and turn heel? Because if you put it on here because we have Bianca run down and interfere, it makes a lot of sense.
For sure.
It makes more sense than just because of the build-up. Because that's a main event, SmackDown, Raw, whatever brand you're on. That's a like end of the night card type thing.
Right.
I think you put it on the WrestleMania card because you have Bianca come down, do the heel turn, and that builds that story.
Theoretically, by that logic, because this is a 2-night thing, it's going to depend on how the shows are formatted, right? Because you don't want that happening on one night, right?
No.
So you would have Jade and Naomi on Saturday, put Bianca's match on Sunday, so if Bianca does get involved, she has some downtime to prepare for the match that we'll talk about here in a little bit.
And it makes more sense if Naomi ends up showing up in that triple threat match for the women's title.
Right. Who's your predicted winner here?
I'm gonna predict that the heel turn happens, so I'm gonna say Naomi.
No, really? Okay. Q, you're over there nodding. Do you agree?
I actually do agree. Yeah, because they did confirm that Bianca's match is going to be on night 2.
Yes. That makes me happy.
They're separating the triple threat matches. So, I definitely see, and I'm happy. I'm happy to see this match here on a a big card like WrestleMania, because to me, Naomi's been like a sleeper, star that people don't really
You
pay
look at her as
attention
a
to.
star?
A sleeper star.
A sleeper star.
A sleeper star.
I look at her as a sleeper.
She's better. She's better than what she's given credit for. She's better than what she's given credit for. She's great in the ring. I mean, she had a great run in TNA, so why not give her this spotlight? Jade is Jade. She'll be all right. Just go ahead and beat that woman. But she's not beating Jade by herself, so I can see something with Bianca being involved.
Going to be very interesting. I think whoever emerges from this match will, as the winner, regardless of what happens, you got to believe that they're going to be in contention for the women's titles. All depending on, I guess, it would be the SmackDown side, right? So, I do look at this match in the same vein as you two do, but I also look at it without them announcing it. This could set up the next challenger for whoever emerges with Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. So could very well be. Another match added very recently, last week on Monday Night Raw. We're going to see two masked legends, allegedly, going one-on-one at WrestleMania when Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, a legit legend, is going to be taking on El Grande Americano. And no, it's not Chad Gable Q.
No.
So let's just squash the rumor and innuendo right now. Two luchador legends going one-on-one. I look at this graphic, dude, and it just absolutely kills me. Look, anytime you get two luchadors with rich history as Rey Mysterio, legitimately.
Yeah.
And El Grande Americano, allegedly.
Yeah.
This is going to be a barn burner.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm looking forward to this match. This is gonna be the fun match of the night for me. That's definitely not Chad Gable. This guy is from the Gulf of America. This is gonna be I can see Ray, but I don't know. See, and here I'm conflicted because if Ray wins, does he go for the mask and try to unmask
100%.
this guy? I don't want to see it happen yet because I'm loving the Americano run. Mm-hmm. So, but it is WrestleMania, so I kind of can see that happening with Ray winning, unless Americano has backup.
Oh.
That might be made in America.
Oh, well, have to wait and see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
But
maybe Chad helps him.
Well, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? And,
I'd be impressed.
I would be.
And that would, curb all the speculation because apparently there's a rumor going around that under the mask of El Grande Americano is Mr. Gable.
True.
I don't really see a resemblance in terms of this graphic on the screen right now. But Brian, for Rey Mysterio at this juncture of his career, the guy has done it all. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he's still considered one of the best, right? So this match is really going to be kind of a launching pad, I feel like, for Americano. I really feel like that's why this match was set up. I look at this as El Grande is going over, not without any kind of controversy, but for me, it's just too soon to be revealing anything officially. Would you agree?
I agree. I think there'll be some Eugene-type tactics involved. But I think we won't see it because I think it's going to lead to Backlash. I think maybe at Backlash we see him peel the mask off. But I don't think they want to drop that, like right now, the Gable thing. Because if we do that, what does American Made have going story-wise?
What if Mr. America?
Oh, my God.
What if it's Mr. America that comes down and makes a big return?
How long is his ramp?
40 yards.
Oof.
Yes. 40 yards from the set to where the ring is.
That would be something.
It would be something, it's going to be, and like you said, this is going to be the fun match of the show.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking forward to that. Who's your official pick?
Chad.
American.
Sorry.
How dare
El
you?
Grande Americano. Like I said, I don't think we've seen the reveals till Backlash. I think they want to keep the story going for a little bit longer.
Officially? Q?
Officially. Who did I say? I'm going to go Chad. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Americano.
Chad Gable's not in this
He's not in this match. He's not even on the card. He's sick.
Right. He's got
the sniffles.
He's got the sniffles. He really does. Two guys who are going to be going one-on-one had better be on their A game and 100%. A very intriguing matchup when AJ Styles is going to go one-on-one with Logan Paul. The very controversial, the very polarizing YouTube internet sensation, Logan Paul, as he coins himself. I look at, this is going to be one of these matches where you get a guy like AJ Styles, who, he has been one of the all-time greats. At one time, the absolute best in the entire world. Yeah. Still up there. Make no mistake about it. And then you get the young, brash Logan Paul, who comes in and has done remarkably well. We have sung his praises many times on this show. But at the same time, he is coming off with this new contract that he's got. He's exclusive with WWE now, which is all fine and dandy. But without a shadow of a doubt that he's rubbing people the wrong way backstage. And I feel like AJ Styles could be one of those guys. I am looking at this match as a potential learning lesson for Mr. Paul. I feel like you're going to see AJ Styles on the grand stage that is WrestleMania is going to teach this kid something about respect, fundamental respect. Not to say that Logan Paul does not respect the business. I don't believe he has the amount of respect for the people within it that they deserve. And AJ Styles is one of those guys. I did chuckle yesterday, Brian, when I saw the video of him taking exception to where he was at on a promotional poster, and Triple H was right there, like, well, we didn't even watch you on the thing, so I'm a little disappointed that you even made it. So you look at AJ Styles and Logan Paul, what's your opinion on this match and a prediction?
This is right up there with the Tiffany Charlotte one. Like, this is a hard one to make a pick on. Also, if Jacob and LA Knight don't end up having a match of the night, it very well could be this one as well. I feel like at this point we've seen Logan Paul basically everybody they put him against except for Roman. He's overcame.
Right.
Maybe it's time that he doesn't. Maybe I'm gonna go with AJ.
Oh. I look at that as kind of a bold prediction, Q. How do you see AJ and Logan Paul going?
I agree with you. It's definitely going to be one of those top athletic matches. It's going to be a great match.
A lot of clips for the highlight reel.
It's
curious. It seems like almost Logan pulls off something new. He shows something new in these type of situations. Like, what has he been working on that he's going to try to pull off in that ring?
He's going to try to pull something off. We'll see. He has this new finisher and everything, and it's pretty cool. But I see AJ winning this only because the build has been lackluster for real. Paul hasn't really been there, and the promo's been kind of sucky. And he's been getting all these one-ups on AJ.
Right.
So now AJ's got to get his, and Karrion Kross has been talking to AJ.
Right.
And kind of like saying, we need the old AJ. We need. Sound like Vince. We need the old Stone Cold. But I think we see a more aggressive AJ, and this could be his match to win.
I'm really surprised. I figured one of you two would have said Logan Paul, because as much as
Is that where you're going?
Yeah, it is actually. As much as I hate to admit it, if I'm putting my personal feelings to the side and I'm
You're
looking,
in love with him?
No, what are you talking about? Are you okay?
If you can make Joe laugh in the production room, you know you did a good job.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. Anyway, no, I'm going Logan Paul with this. I feel like they have put a lot of stock into the stardom that does kind of follow him where he goes, whether it's self-manufactured or otherwise. I really do feel like he is on a path upward, and before the end of the year, he's going to be a regular fixture in the main events. A win over AJ Styles at WrestleMania is the perfect launching point for him to really put him in the main event picture. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this right.
Oh, please do.
He's going to kill me.
I love it. I hope so.
Hello, you're on the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV.
Oh, fantastic.
Joining us right now, and I'm so excited. Buddy, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but like the timing was perfect. On the line with me is my son, Austin. And hey, we're talking about WrestleMania, buddy. Do you have any kind of an opinion as we head into this big event next weekend?
Hey, where's it at?
It's in Las Vegas.
It's definitely gonna be cool. The presentation will be nice, like always. I'm predicting a surprise appearance. I don't know from who, because but predicting an appearance, and definitely a shocker title change, I'm guessing.
John Cena or Cody Rhodes?
Is that the main event?
Yeah, for Sunday.
Well, I think they're gonna play out Cena's heel part a lot, especially because he's retiring or whatever. So I think Cena's gonna win.
All right. You are the best. Can I tell you that? You called up. You didn't know I was doing this. You're live on the air, and you absolutely nailed it. And I really appreciate you, son.
All right, thank you.
I'll call you back after the show.
All right.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
And I looked over, I saw that, I'm like, this is awesome.
I'm going to tell you something right now. And Jeff Hosky is here in the studio.
Who?
Yeah. Joe is in the booth. And I don't know if you two guys could hear it, but my God, a couple of things Austin said and the way he said it. I was listening to my brother talk. When I hear him in that realm, when he starts talking like that, I'm like, holy hell, that is my brother talking. And which is significant that we're doing the show here tonight, because this is something of a milestone anniversary, but he did lay the groundwork for what has become the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network. So it was a very real moment for me, and I just wanted to share that. With that, let's run a quick timeout, and we will look at more of the card for WrestleMania right after this.
9, 8.
Are you or someone you know having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance abuse crisis? 988 connects you to compassionate, confidential support for free.
988.
988 is the new 3-digit dialing code for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. For years, the Lifeline, formerly known as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, has answered tens of millions of calls and helped people overcome mental health-related distress. 988 is the same trusted resource. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you additional help if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone in crisis. Just call, text, or chat 988.
988!
Knowing how to identify signs of crisis in others and help connect them to resources like the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is an important way to prevent suicide and lifeline. For information about free suicide prevention trainings offered in our community, please visit the North Oakland Community Coalition at noccmi.org.
988!
Have you ever thought of producing your own podcast? ONTV offers the facilities, equipment, and training to help you get your own podcast off the ground. Learn how to record your show and get it out to the world. Cost is $25 per person, which gives you access to ONTV's podcast room and equipment. For more information, give ONTV a call at 248-393-1060 or visit orionontv.org today.
And we welcome you back to the Fatal 4-Way live here on ONTV, along with Brian Bolf and Quadell Edwards. I'm Jason Clouse, and we are breaking down Wrestlemania 41. It goes down next weekend, Saturday, April the 19th, and Sunday, April the 20th, from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's crazy to think that this time next week I will be in Las Vegas, because we will be in the stadium on Sunday for Cena versus Cody Rhodes. And when we come back here on the next episode of the Fatal 4-Way, I will have a full report. We're going to be doing a lot of filming and taking pictures and kind of put together our WrestleMania experience. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship, where Io Sky is going to defend the championship against both Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I was personally hoping that we were going to get a one-on-one match with Io and Bianca, just because I felt like Bianca earned that right. But with Rhea and her involvement, we knew inevitably it was going to become a triple threat match. The build-up kind of got laggy for me, which is why they finally put Rhea in the match. It's like, we already know you're going this route. Let's just do it and establish it. They have. It is going to be a triple threat. 3 of the most talented women on the roster. But is it going to be too much, Brian? Is it going to be too much going on in a triple threat environment with, because everybody wants to get their stuff in, right? But we don't want to try to put 10 pounds of crap into a 5-pound bag either. There's got to be that balance. Do these 3 have the capability to make this a balanced out match?
They're going to have to do better than they've been doing currently to do that. I am tired of seeing everyone face mush Io Sky off to the side over and over again. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see 3 people out there just fully competing. And if they do, it's going to be a great match. And, like, I'm doubling down. Bianca's going bad, so I think Naomi will help her win this title.
She's going bad.
So Bianca will be my pick, yeah. The Bianca's going bad.
I agree.
So Bianca wins the title. Okay. Q?
Man, I'm conflicted again. I'm always conflicted. I see Bianca. I agree. I definitely see Bianca going bad and winning this and keeping her WrestleMania streak alive.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's still going on. But, man, Io, the way she's been getting pushed aside, I really want to see her get this moment. So that's where I'm conflicted at. You know, Rhea's made, so she's good to go. But I think the chemistry is going to be off the charts with this match, I believe, because I remember it was a Monday Night Raw match that Bianca and Io had. That was one of the best Raw matches of the year, and you know, all you're doing is adding Rhea, and Rhea's great. You know, so I believe that this is going to be a high-profile match that Bianca's going to get booed in, and we're going to start seeing the signs. She wore all black last Monday, so I believe she is already playing up to it. she's going bad. So I'm going Bianca.
Okay.
We know what we're talking about over here.
I'm going Io Sky. And I'll tell you why. Way
to go, Dr. Seuss.
For the very reason that you guys laid out. She's been legitimately pushed to the side. Now, on paper, not even on paper, in the ring, from bell to bell, Io Sky is one of the most talented wrestlers in the world. And the fact that she has been kind of overshadowed, even going into it as the champion, I'm like, man, you don't want to cut her legs out from under her any more than you already have with the buildup of this match. I do see Naomi be involved. I do see some sort of distraction for Rhea. But I also see Io Sky is going to be emerging with the title. Plus, if you think back to last year, she walked into WrestleMania as the champion and lost to Bayley. So I really feel like Io Sky is ready to have her WrestleMania moment. And what better opportunity than against two of the other very high-profile, very successful wrestlers for the Women's World Championship. And switching gears is another multi-person match for a championship. It will be a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. You will see Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta will all challenge Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Four of the biggest rising stars in WWE.
Minus Finn.
Well, Finn has his place here.
He does.
He's the utility guy.
He is the utility guy. He is also the veteran of the match.
Yep.
He is going to be the one that's going to be calling the shots in this, if you wait and watch here. The other three, Penta, just a house of fire since his debut back in January. Dominic Mysterio remains arguably the hottest heel in WWE, and Braun Breaker is starting to really bust out of his shell. And
like he busted Carlito.
And really becoming that main event fixture. You're starting to see the pieces fall into place here. This match is pretty much a toss-up in my view, with the exception of Finn Balor. Like I said, he is a placeholder. He is there to be the general in this match. But other than that, this match comes down to putting the spotlight on three rising stars. Q, we'll start with you. Penta, Mysterio, and Breaker, who has the biggest opportunity to shine in this match?
1 second. I think we're going to surprise Jason with our picks here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think we're on the same page again.
They're all going to shine. The biggest surprise, if Finn wins, that's the biggest surprise. I don't think nobody else is a surprise here. I'm going with Dominic. Dominic wins the Intercontinental title, causing the rift between him and Finn going forward. Braun is going to be moving up.
Right.
So that's how you get the title off of him without him being pinned. Dominic.
And you get Penta in the match, and everyone gets to see him at WrestleMania without it being any negative on him because there's the three other guys in there. Yeah, Dominic. It's Dirty Dom time.
Dirty Dom time.
I'm 100% in agreement.
Wow. I see that coming.
I do feel like it is Dom's time. And again, he's another one of these guys. If you wait too long to pull the trigger on him, you're going to miss that opportunity for it to really make that kind of impact. Although, man, that dude is a heat magnet right now. So, but, Penta is going to be fine as long as he doesn't eat the pin, which we don't think he will. I think Finn is also there to eat the pin.
Yeah, Finn will eat the pin.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss.
Finn Balor.
All right. Another match that has just been added to WrestleMania. We'll see Drew McIntyre go one-on-one with Damian Priest. No surprise here. It's unfortunate because last year at this time we saw these guys involved within the World Heavyweight Championship, picture. But now here they are one-on-one. A lot of people are going to look at this as a throwaway match. I don't see it that way. I'm happy that these two get the opportunity to go one-on-one on the stage of WrestleMania. For Drew, I would have liked to have seen him in, more of a high-stakes match. But this, it's still WrestleMania. Damian Priest, I'm not a fan of his personally, but I recognize what he does, bell to bell. This is a pretty even matchup. Would you agree, Q?
Yeah, I'm not big on Priest, but you got to give people a chance. That's where I'm at with him. But this is definitely this is a match that Drew has to win.
Absolutely.
This is where Drew, gets Priest out of the way. He gets his revenge from the Money in the Bank cash in from last year, and move on. Drew. All right, Brian. What's your take on this?
Man, I think they did a great job of building this matchup slowly because we've seen the different ones. And I think we would have seen more built up, but I don't think they were 100% sure Drew was going to be able to make it to WrestleMania because he had that legitimate eye injury. So I think we would have saw more, but I think they were getting ready to possibly pull the cord if they had to on this match. Dude, this is a tough one for me to call. I almost, you know what? Just to go opposite of you guys because you guys both saying Drew, I'll go Damian.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I do think Drew needs it as well, but so does Damian. Where does Damian go if he loses this match?
Well, I have an idea for the Raw after Mania.
Ooh.
Because if I had the book, Priest loses this at Mania, McIntyre goes over. You go to the Raw after WrestleMania, and we start to see the emergence of a new faction.
A new Judgment Day?
That could rival the Judgment Day. That would see the return of Aleister Black and Rusev.
Oh.
I just told Q, my only wish for WrestleMania is that we see Aleister Black show up at some point. And I don't think it will happen. I think it's going to be Raw afterwards. Man, I want it. If that happens, I'm happy. I'm a happy boy. Yeah. It's Christmas.
All right. Switching gears now to the main event of night one. Saturday night's main event, if you will. We're going to see the triple threat match.
Triple threat.
Between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins.
There is a lot.
Cut that.
There is a lot of history interwoven with these three guys, and the added anticipation or the added mystique of this favor that Punk was being owed by Paul Heyman. We now know that Paul Heyman will now be in the corner of CM Punk instead of his tribal chief, Roman Reigns. A lot of controversy when it was announced that this was going to close out Saturday night, Q, because we assumed that the Gunther Uso match would probably close out, or Charlotte and Tiffany, because they represented Royal Rumble winners.
Yeah.
People got hung up on all that. They didn't necessarily say it was a main event spot. They just said that they were getting a title shot at WrestleMania. You look at this match, the three men involved, the history, the storyline. Was this the right call to make this the main event of Saturday night?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I kind of want to see what they actually do in this match, because sometimes it's all about how you close. You know, if Jey Uso don't win the world title, do you close with Gunther standing on top of him with the belt and people being like, "Dang, y'all just killed Jey"?
Right.
But or do you do something big in this triple threat match? Maybe this should have been a Paul Heyman on the pole match. You know,
that'd be a thick pole.
Yeah, get a big old pole and put Paul up there. But
or a sharp cage.
Sharp cage. Yeah, but it really depends on how they end this, because Paul Heyman is the X factor here.
Yes.
And now Seth says, you know, you owe me a favor now. So how does that play in? So I don't know. As far as who I see coming out on top, other than Mommy, I'll say that this is Seth Rollins' match for me, and that's because, just like you said with EO, Seth Rollins has been like the third guy, and just like last year, he was the extra guy in Saturday night's main event. He was the extra guy. Now here he is 2 years in a row as the extra guy. I believe that, throw him a bone. I mean, he went in there, he lost to Cody that 1 year. He's always been a team player. Now let Seth get this win. Roman is made. Punk is made.
Very good points here. Is that how you feel about this, Brian?
I agree. Seth needs this more than the other two, for sure. I think, obviously, the Paul Heyman thing is definitely going to be a big part of this match. One thing that you kind of brought up that makes me curious about this one is, man, if we would end it WrestleMania Night 1, because we all believe Jay's going to beat Gunther, that's a huge end.
Right.
So what do you think is going to happen in this match that's going to be better than that as an ending for Night 1?
Well, I think number one, CM Punk is winning. Is my prediction. But I think the X factor or the wild card is you said Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is kind of in the center of this whole thing now. He's a Roman Reigns guy. He has been a CM Punk guy. I see Paul Heyman costing Roman Reigns the match and aligning himself with Seth Rollins. Because, at least to shake it up a little bit. Is it going to be long term? Probably not. But I think it's worth at least toying with it. Because much like what you gentlemen are saying, Seth Rollins, for the second year in a row, 3 out of the last 4, he's been that extra guy, that go-to guy, that team player. He does need something. But I don't feel like with so much hype on CM Punk main eventing his first WrestleMania, which was the whole reason why this match is the main event, and with no titles on the line, they're going to have a shock value, a shock moment to close out. They could have the euphoria of CM Punk winning, but they're going to need something to carry that on beyond, because there's no stakes in this other than pride, other than respect. And we're talking about Punk, we're talking about Rollins now, and now Roman Reigns becomes the forgotten guy here. So I don't know. You could go on a number of ways, but I do feel like Punk is going to win. But I feel like the big story coming out of this match is going to be, in some way or another, a Seth Rollins Paul Heyman alliance.
To add to that, all 3 of these guys are heels that's cosplaying as faces. Look at their tactics. Roman Reigns' character never changed since the Bloodline.
Right.
Punk is CM Punk. We know what he does. Seth Rollins, all 3 of these guys, look what Seth Rollins did at the Royal Rumble. And look what he just did on Monday Night Raw. That was a heel tactic. There's a lot of dirty plays that's going to happen, and I believe we're going to see something big and dirty at WrestleMania.
We were talking, this should have been a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah.
Agreed. 100%. Some sort of stakes.
If you would have did that, I think it would have added even more to this match.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like whoever does win this match, we will see going after the title next anyways, but they should have just made it official.
And the title in question will be closing out Sunday night. It is the match that has been the main event since the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and the shocking heel turn of John Cena, when he will challenge the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the WWE Championship. The Cena heel turn added a lot of anticipation. The promos that he has cut more specifically overseas, but leading into his first WrestleMania as a heel is going to be a huge thing for Cody Rhodes, really. For the first time in a long time, Q, I feel like this is a WrestleMania main event. And I can't believe I'm saying that when you consider it's got the two guys I have bitched about for the last 20 years being shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
But it is a testament to the story. It is a testament to the legacy of the WWE Championship. It is a testament to the two men involved, and whether I'm a personal fan or supporter or not, this is a big fight feel.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of history riding on the line. Should we see a new champion crowned at WrestleMania 41 on Sunday, John Cena will eclipse the record, the long-standing record of one Nature Boy Ric Flair. It is Cody Rhodes. It is John Cena. It is the main event of WrestleMania. Q, if you have the book, what are you doing?
Man, this is tough. This is tough. Conflicted again, I guess. The heel turn really switched a lot of things in my mind when it came to this match with John Cena here. Because initially we did talk about John Cena challenging for the WWE Championship and actually losing and actually winning it down the line. And, building up that anticipation if he's going to get number 17 before he retires. But this heel turn kind of changed a lot of things. And I would love to see him have that run as a heel. And if he does not win, does he continue to be a heel? I mean, I see that he's booked for a lot of dates after WrestleMania, so that kind of gave me a little.
Rapids, Michigan is on that list.
Is it? Yeah,
Yes,
oh
it
man,
is.
we might have to pay a visit down there. But I see, this might be the time where they, give it to Cena. But, him winning 17 as a heel, I feel like that's a babyface type of thing. You should want to see him get to 17. But, man, his heel work has been different. We all thought that he was going to change up the gear and change up, the songs, but the promo that he cut on why he didn't do it made a lot of sense. You know, I was in the same boat as you. I couldn't stand this guy.
Right.
Like, growing up, back in the, I couldn't stand him. He was not my guy. Like, I was a big Stone Cold fan. I was a big NWO DX. I was into all of that stuff. And then you got this guy who comes and, his early work as, the rapper Cena, I thought was entertaining. But the goody go boy, respect me and all this stuff, I was not into it. But now, with these two, this feels like a big fight feel. And my final answer.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm going to go John Cena.
Okay. Brian?
I was regretting this part. 'Cause I'm the same way. I'm like, what comes out of my mouth is literally going to be my answer because I'm going back and forth constantly. Even like thinking of the winner, like I said, the winner of the last match being the number one contender, I'm kind of switching over to your. I think Punk might end up winning that match. As much as Rollins needs it, I don't think Heyman goes with Rollins. But, whew, man, like, who would I see CM Punk fighting between these two? I don't know. Where's Randy at on title holds?
I was about to bring that up.
14.
Could we see Cena win it now, walk away, and then Randy catch up, and then him come back for December to break the record again? Is that what we have to do?
That would be.
That's
See,
wild.
that would be cool.
That's
Yeah,
wild,
I think it'd be
man.
awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
Like him, like he said, he's taking that belt and he's going home. He takes that belt, goes home, and he watches Orton catch up to him. It'd be like, whew. Now I got to go back out there and dust the boots off again.
Backlash is in Orton's town.
It is.
So we got to remember that I believe Orton might be the next challenger. So
I'm going to go Cena. But I also want to see Cody go heel. But I don't think
it'll happen there.
I don't think it's going to happen here, but I want that to happen. And I don't think it's going to be from this, but I think Cody's run as champion has been the most horrible, like not horrible as in like to watch, is for him. It feels like he's like, I hate being champion. All my friends hate me. I'm stuck in all these matches going against people that I think are friends, and they turn on me. It's like I'm waiting for that to just stop. He's like, I don't want this.
That was a big thing.
I thought that this was my final, like my story ending, but it opened up something I don't even want.
Very interesting aspect of this match for sure. Like I've said, I am not a Cody Rhodes guy. I felt like he was the second coming of John Cena. You put him in there with John Cena. For all intents and purposes, I'm like, this is the drizzling poo-poos. I want no part of this. But I got to be honest with you, when Cena won the Chamber and then turned heel, I looked at my girl. I'm like, we're going to this. This is the match I want to see. I'm not a fan of either one of these guys, and that to me. And I've been watching wrestling over 40 years. I was watching wrestling before there was a WrestleMania. So to see the build and just the way I feel about this match, I'll go ahead and say it. In terms of that big fight feel, I have very similar anticipation for this as I damn near do or did for Hogan and Andre. Because it just made WrestleMania feel big. And Cena's promo work, you don't deserve anything new. This is what you get. Like there is a more than a hint of realism in his words. And I feel like that's why I'm gravitating towards it. Because I'm like, this is what I'm a fan of. When you can get behind the character because they're incorporating real human elements that I can identify with. And I could not disagree with anything John Cena said in his promos. He was absolutely right. Cody Rhodes could not stand to listen to this guy talk because he drew everything out too animated. He just sucked me out of it. But the last few weeks, he kind of like put the gimmick on the side and was talking to him as how he really is and how he really feels. And it really came across the camera, and I absolutely love that. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to be there in person to see John Cena win his 17th World Championship at WrestleMania 41. Before we put a bow on this, and we do appreciate Joe letting us have a little bit of overtime here on this week's show. Is there anything in the chat, Q, that we should address real quick?
Oh, man, everybody's saying that I'm conflicted.
A lot of confliction going on this week.
If rumors are true and we see New Day versus
War Raiders,
I say New Day goes over.
I say New Day.
I say New Day is going to get those belts. They've been doing great work since they turned heel.
Yeah.
I
would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. And it has been made official. General Manager Adam Pearce, right before we came on the air, I saw his official announcement. So it will be the War Raiders and the New Day for the World Tag Team Championship. We will also know who will be challenging for the Women's Tag Team title. Later on tonight on SmackDown, they're going to have a gauntlet match. And the winners will get a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Whoever wins that, it's still going to be Liv and Raquel. That title's not coming off of them.
No. And then hopefully we're going to find out if, in fact, Randy Orton does have an opponent for WrestleMania. A lot of fantasy booking that would see him on the opposite end of the ring from SmackDown GM Nick Aldis, who a lot of people sleep on him, but he is a former NWA World Champion. Like, this guy is legit, and he is one of the best, finely conditioned athletes that there's been in a long time. Do not sleep on this. So if that does wind up happening, that's going to be a damn good match, in my opinion. But it does, one more time, it happens next weekend, April 19th and April 20th, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Both broadcasts from start to finish on both days, 9 hours long. So buckle up, get your popcorn, and enjoy the absolute biggest event of the year. It is the granddaddy of them all, the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 41. With that, we appreciate everybody who tuned in. Go out, be awesome to yourselves and to each other, and we'll see you next time right here on the Fatal 4-Way on ONTV as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.